situation and urge the community to help us solve this case. Today, the speakers that you will hear are City of Gary Chief of Police Derek Cannon, our Mayor Eddie Melton, Miss Charlotte Tidwell, the mother of the victim, and Lake County Prosecutor Bernard Carter. With that, I'd like to introduce Chief Cannon. Thank you.
First, I want to say thank you to all of you that are in attendance. I want to thank all of our partners and the men and women of our agency for the extensive hours they have put into this case. I want to be clear that we have intentionally brought this room together. I want to be clear that we are trying to find justice and attempt to bring some closure to this bereaved family. And also we want to make a statement that this city is not who we are when it comes to this type of behavior. On September 6th at approximately 8:03 p.m., the Gary Police Department responded to a call for service of a disturbance at the McDonald's located on 5th Avenue and Grant Street. Upon our officers' arrival, they spoke with the management and observed several people across the street in what appeared to be a continuation of the original call. While officers were on scene speaking with people, shots rang out, and that caused people, including the officers, to take cover. It was also discovered at this time a vehicle originally driving eastbound past this location left the roadway and struck a tree. First responders, including the officers on scene and paramedics, immediately responded to this accident and found the occupant of this vehicle had suffered a fatal gunshot wound during the shooting incident. Multiple law enforcement agencies responded to this incident and are currently investigating this matter as we speak. We have spent hours canvassing, collecting evidence, and reviewing footage. I started out by saying that we have been intentional, and we are here to ask the public to join in our efforts. There were multiple people there that witnessed this incident, and we are asking the public to respond to this senseless and terrible act. At this time, I want to invite up the Mayor, Eddie Melton, for remarks.
Good afternoon. We come today under difficult and heartbreaking circumstances. Today we mourn the loss of Kia Tidwell, whose life was cut far too short, and our hearts are out to her family and loved ones on this day as they grieve this unimaginable loss. I want to begin by expressing my heartfelt condolences to the family. No words can ease the pain that you're feeling right now. But I want them to know that we stand with them and we stand right by them. This is not just their loss, this is the entire city of Gary's loss. And I want to be very clear, just like the Chief of Police. Every life in this city is precious, every single life. And when violence claims the life of one of our own, we take it all personal, and it affects us all. This tragic event is under active investigation, and I want to thank the Lake County Prosecutor's Office and Homicide Task Force for their stewardship as we continue to investigate this. And I want to assure the public that every resource available is going to be utilized to bring justice to this family. To the citizens of Gary, we will not allow violence to determine who we are and to define who the city is and what it makes us to be. This crime is a reminder of the work we must do together to make Gary a safer place for everyone. While the overall homicide rate is down 25% in Gary, and we're fighting every single day to make sure that we can address this, again, I want to be clear, one life lost is too many. And as we wait for answers, I want to urge anyone with information to come forward and to assist in this investigation. And not just this homicide, but any violent crime that's taken place in the city of Gary. Anyone with information can call Detective Roger Escutia directly at 219-755-3855. Again, 219-755-3855. Or use our anonymous text tip hotline at 219-207-8477. 219-207-TIPS. If you saw something or you know something, now is the time to speak up. Your cooperation is crucial in ensuring that justice is going to be served. Finally, to the people of Gary, we are truly a resilient people. And in the face of adversity, we must stand together. This is not just a call to address the violence that took a life this Friday, but a call to action for all of us to be vigilant, to care for one another, and to contribute to the well-being for our overall city. We must continue to invest in our communities. We must continue to provide opportunities for our youth, but we also have to make sure that this is no place for violence. We will continue to update the community as the investigation continues to go forth. Until then, please keep the victims, family, in our thoughts and prayers. And at this time, I'm going to ask Mrs. Charlotta Tidwell if she can come forth, mother of Kia Tidwell, to give us a few words.
I just want to say thank you to our mayor, the police, and all our visitors for being here, for giving us this opportunity to come before you and tell you that I'm agreeing with that whomever behind this, with the natural and with the spiritual, and we are praying and we believing that this is going to be solved, and whatever else is going to be solved. My daughter had just left my house. On her way Friday, she stopped by, and she said she was going home to cook for her other children, her youngest, which is not even 5 yet, and her granddaughter, which is 2. I'm just thankful they wasn't in the car with her. They were supposed to be in there with her. And so her daughter calls me and say, Mom, Mama is passing by McDonald's, and shooting has taken place. And the last words she heard her mama say, she was calling on the name of Jesus. Glory. And she said, the phone dropped or something. She said she hit a tree, and she said, I'm just thinking everything is okay, Granny, but would you go check? And I say, she said, Mama done been in 2 cars totally. And she walked away, the cars was told. And so we just believe in this, and I didn't know this other had took place. And when I saw her truck, I went up and opened it, and one of the officers said it was a crime scene. I'm thinking an accident can't be a crime scene. But I'm saying today, this is not going to be the end. That's just the beginning. I'm not going to stop here. I'm just one person, but we all got to be helpers. I want to, take it downstate and say what we need here. We need a whole lot of stuff. We need more police officers. We need cameras. We just need so much. Yes. We just need so much. We just lights and everything. And we don't want. I'm a senior citizen, but we don't want our seniors to be afraid to go outside their house. Some of them is like that now. They don't even want to be in a place for 30 years. I lived around the corner for 30 years. My daughter turned the corner on Grant Street, make a left, heading to Portage so she can go home and cook. She didn't make it there. And at 5 years old, yesterday she asked me, I haven't told her yet. And I don't want nobody around her talking. I didn't even want her to see clipping or nothing. I'm like, she said, who is my mama? Also, I like change the subject. And then she asked her sister, where's my mama? And see, my daughter, she worked 2 jobs just to provide. And I had been with her 4 hours with a state child she was dealing with. And then
her sister tells her, well, maybe she called the girl's name, maybe she got her, maybe she taking care of her. And so that's the heart. It really, I know I'm not the only person that's been in this spot, stuff that went on, but we're gonna take it further. We're gonna take it as far as we can. It don't stop here. We can't allow it to stop here. We can't allow it to stop here. But one thing about it, I done prayed that prayer before and it happened. I done always loose for the officers and stuff, our apprehension spirit. So whoever think they're in a comfortable place, I served them notice today. They not in a comfortable place. As I still here today, oh, they gonna be caught up with.
Yes, Lord.
And that's all I have to say.
Glory.
Thank you. Thank you.
At this time, we would ask that our Lake County Prosecutor Bernard Carter come and say some remarks.
Good afternoon. As the Lake County Prosecutor and the Lake County Prosecuting Investigative Homicide Unit, we are currently, as the Mayor said and the Chief said, it's an active investigation. I'm limited ethically from saying much about the investigation, so what Chief Cannon has said, we'll leave it at that. But it is an ongoing investigation, and they're doing everything they can to bring justice to the situation. One thing I want to say to the family and the Gary community, Lake County community as a whole, we cannot tolerate individuals committing crimes of this nature and somebody don't speak up. We know for a fact that several people know who did the shooting, several. And we're asking them to come forward, work with us, work with our investigators, so we can bring some sense of justice. You never get justice when a life is lost. I know that. I've seen too many cases, and I've been involved in too many to know that the family never going to be complete again. You're always going to miss your loved one. But what I'm telling people is this: we must speak out. And I tell you about the families of these young people who are committing some of these crimes. And I'm speaking just crimes in general. These parents need to step forward. Mother, father, grandmother, sister, they know who's carrying these guns. They know who is associating with different types of activity. I've seen it in my family. And I've told some of my nephews and stuff, you better get out of that. Leave that gang alone, or leave this activity alone. Don't be selling drugs. And they don't listen. Many of them don't listen. But I'm here to tell you that we will find out exactly what occurred and who did this. But we need the community's support. There's no doubt about that. We have to have somebody come forward, and many times a parent can talk to their child and say, you were there, you knew something, and get them to come forward. And we're asking them to come forward and do that. We're asking them to come forward because we have to get some clarity as to the crime that occurs in our community. It's an insult, and it hurts the entire community. And I'm not just talking about Gary community, the entire county that I have authority over. So we have to talk to our loved ones, and not just in this case, but you know what your loved ones are doing, you know what your children are doing. You got a pretty good idea. You know if they're carrying a gun, they're underage, or they're doing bad things with that gun. You need to stop it. You need to correct them. At the very least, tell them to get the hell out of Gary. Let them go someplace else. I'm serious, and I mean that deeply. Because we don't want that in our community. We don't want people like that in our community. We should be, and as African Americans, speaking as an African American, we're God-fearing people. We love one another. But this last couple generations want to harm one another. And we cannot do that. Thank you.
This concludes the initial part of our press conference. I just want to thank, first and foremost, the family, Ms. Charlotte Tidwell, as well as Prosecutor Carter, Mayor Eddie Melton, and Chief Cannon. At this time, we can take a few questions. I do want to remind media that this is an active investigation, so we're limited in terms of the kinds of questions that we can answer and the depth that we can go into our answers. But we do have time for about 3 questions. Yes, sir.
Hi, how are you? My name is Darius Johnson. I work for CBS Chicago. Have
police or detectives been able to gather any type of surveillance footage or been able to speak with any witnesses who may have been in that area that night? Or I know some of them may be witnesses themselves since they were inside and all of this was kind of unfolding, taking place.
I think this is an appropriate question for Chief Cannon.
And so in my earlier statement, I kind of spoke about what we have done thus far. Unfortunately, to keep the integrity of the case, I'm not really to go further into in-depth. We had multiple agencies and multiple officers there on scene, and there was multiple people. And so I'm just going to leave it at that for right now.
Chief, may I ask you to elaborate on just the chain of events that you described initially? You mentioned that you received a call initially for a disturbance at McDonald's, and when your officers arrived, that disturbance appeared to move across the street. Was there only the one shooting that happened once your officers were already on the scene and they ran for cover, or was there a shooting initially at the McDonald's and then another one? I'm just trying to clarify that.
So this is all one incident, one event. Again, officers responded to the McDonald's from a call for service there. Once speaking to the manager talked about what had occurred, and that continuous situation seemed to have flowed across the street. Officers were there when shots rang out, and then the subsequent consequence of the events that we talked about. So all one event.
And Mayor, if I may ask, what is it, every loss of life, especially under a circumstance like this, is tragic, and especially for the family. But what is it about this one that prompted this response from all of you that has you and the chief and Mr. Carter all here together supporting this family?
Very good question. We've been in office 9 months now, and with the incidents that have occurred just within our 9 months, I was just, enough was enough. And this is a call to action for the community to step forward and figuring out what can we do collectively as a community so we can prevent this from happening again.
What time did this happen?
8:03 p.m.
Can we hear a little bit more about Kia? Just, we're learning about the events that happened here, but I don't know if the family would elaborate a little bit more on the life, if you don't mind.
If they're comfortable
Who
with
she
doing
is.
that.
You know, it helps our audience understand why this story is so important. I don't know if somebody could speak to that. I don't know if Mom wants to come back up.
If you can give us your name too, and come up there.
And your relationship as well, if you don't mind.
My name is Jamil Tidwell. I'm Kia, eldest brother. Kia she was the life of the party. It was 10 of us. She always had on her license plate, I'm number 8, because she was number 8. She was number 8 from out of the 10. She had kids, and I got kids, and we hung out a lot, and we used to go out to dinner together. She would sometime pick you up for your birthday, whether you was related or not. She gave the jacket. She seen this lady sitting on, homeless lady sitting, shivering on the bench, and she took off a brand new jacket she had just got an hour before and gave it to her. She was an all-around person you just love to just meet, hang out with, and so forth. And I would have to say she was a woman of God. She prayed a lot. She was also a case manager. She took care of other kids outside of her own family. You know, she was my sister. I would say she and I was a lot alike.
Did you want to say something, ma'am?
My name is Lasani Long. I am Kia's aunt. I was there when she was born. Kia was full of life. She was loud. Everybody knew Kia was there. But Kia was a mother of 6 children. She wasn't just a mother. She was an awesome mother. She went to every basketball game, every baseball game, practices, no sleep, one job to the next. She made sure her children was trying to helped them level up to the next level. She pushed them. She raised them. She raised 4 men, 2 daughters. Her life was stolen. She was a woman of faith. She was just a beautiful person. She gave her last. She have a son in college now. She meal prep for that boy every Sunday, just so he can take his food back and have something to eat the whole week. This is so unnecessary, senseless. She have left a big hole. This event has left a big hole in her family hearts, but not only her family, but also her friends. She knew a lot of people. And we just thank you guys. We thank you for the attention now. We ask you to keep the family in your prayers. She has a baby, not even 5 years old. My sister has to tell her she'll never see her mother again. That's one of the worst things. Thank you.
Before you leave the microphone, could you please spell your names if you don't mind so we have them correctly? Thank you.
Lasani, L-A, capital S-O-N-N-Y-E, McNeil, M-C-N-E-I-L.
Jamuel.
If you just stand up to the microphone, just so we can okay.
Mine's Jamuel Tidwell. It's Jamuel Tidwell, Tidwell, and I'm a senior.
Thank you, sir. And our condolences.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Isley Tidwell Muro. I am Kia's sister. I was born in 80. She was born in 81. She taught me a whole lot being the younger sister. I just want to first thank the mayor and thank our First Lady and just everyone. You guys, it didn't fall on deaf ears, and I think that means a lot to our family. I'm also a teacher here in the Gary community, and being a teacher, you hear all these stories, you know, and you never think that it'll be your family, but I think this is bigger than Kia. We're grieving, but this is bigger than Kia. She just had family that just was relentless in not letting it go. But think about all the other families that this is happening to, not just in Gary, because this seems to be the story of our communities. And so for any young person watching this, I just want to say, don't make a decision today that will take away the rest of your life. And I think they don't really know the severity of what they're doing. You know, my sister was a beautiful person, and it was very hard for me to come. I felt sick to my stomach, been having chest pains, everything. I know I'm a big girl, but I don't usually have chest pains. I'm usually can roll with a lot of stuff. But, and that's the nature of our family too. We're very humorous and we're very comical. But we are very close-knit, and so this did leave a hole in our family. And, you know, I told the kids, don't worry about this, we got you, and things like that. But we know that this is just a problem that seemed to plague our community. We have been Team Gary from day one, born and raised here. My parents been in the same area for over 30+ years, and we will go to blows with people about the city of Gary. We believe in the vision of Gary and all that. And in my mind, I kept thinking, the city let us down in the end. I worked another place, but I said I want to teach where I grew up. And I've been teaching in Gary for 8 years. I'm a second grade teacher currently. And I do love the outpouring of support that we receive from the city, from our fans, from our clergymen and things like that. Because honestly, the beauty of Gary is brotherhood and sisterhood and our history. We don't want to be like everybody. I don't care what is the statistics when it comes down to African American cities. We want to be the difference. I believe in the vision of Mayor Eddie Melton. I would not have voted for him at all if I didn't think he was capable. But I believed in his vision because I worked with him in a different capacity. I believe in the vision of the First Lady. So when we had the fire chief and everybody to just outpour on us, at first I was a little bit angry. I'm like, I just can't. But bitterness rots us, you all. But it's unity and it's faith in God that's going to take us through the darkest moment of our lives. And this is a very dark moment. I'm shocked I'm up here. I was a mess before I came up here. But I thank God for the support of the community. Keep our family in your prayers. Again, I hear these stories all the time when I'm trying to comfort my students when things go on in their lives. And I talk to them and I try to have them to have faith. And some of them every morning they want to hug me and I hug them because you don't know what they go home to. And a lot of these kids on the streets are lost. She was not the intended target because I did get that back. Well, believe it or not, what was she doing? She was minding her own business, heading home. This girl went and she moved her family to a place where she thought would be better for them. But she didn't live here anymore, but she defended Gary tooth and nail. That's how she was. And for her to basically be taken out by all the people who she kind of advocated for, it's sad. It's sad. But at the end of the day, I hope this and I have all the faith in the world in God. I have faith in our police staff. I have faith in that somebody's going to come forward. I'm not upset at any of you all. I thank God for you all, and I'm believing God that justice will be served. Thank you to the news team. Just thank you to everybody, because at first I'm serious. I was very bitter. I was bitter, but then I had to go to a higher source, and that's my God. And Kia believed in that. Kia believed in prayer. She was definitely a sports mom, and I was on Instagram, a random person said she was the best sports mom ever. She was the type of person, the way she was, it was across racial divides and all of that. She didn't care. She'll come to your house. You can live in Hebron, couch, whatever. She coming with some food. She wanted to make sure the team was eating good. And even if you didn't have your mom, she tried to be that person to everybody. And that's the person that she was, and that's what I want her to be mostly remembered for. Again, my name is Isley, like the Isley brothers, I-S-L-E-Y. Last name Tidwell and Muro, M-U-R-O, and I am her sister, and I do love her. And I'm gonna miss her a whole lot. And just one final thing, like my aunt said, you know, she was supposed to do a big trip with her family to Disneyland. And her 4-year-old, which I love to pieces, I told her that smile will light up my day. I don't have children, but I feel like her children were my children, and we all feel that way. All of the kids grew up together, and she said, Mama taking me to Disney World. And I said, well, if she can't, TT gonna take you. And so she's like, no, I want Mama to take me. I said, but if she can't, because I didn't tell her. I said, if she can't, I'm taking you. We're gonna make sure you guys get to Disneyland. And she said, well, you ain't got no airplane. I said, I will get you an airplane that day. You going to Disneyland. So her kids are young, and she raised good independent kids who all have their jobs, and they're worried about, because she was their primary financial resource. And they're worried about, well, what if we lose this or what if we can't? But we're like, it's in God's hands. And so I love you guys. Thank you for your prayers. I appreciate you. God bless.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
My name is Vashti Tidwell Fagan. I'm Kia's second oldest sister. They say me and Kia look alike. Well, we look like my daddy. Kia, she used to hang with me and my older sister, Kia. You know, she was old. She was young, but she was old. And she loved everybody. I got so many calls. People was like, Kia would go to the games and she'll support other people's kids like they were her own. Kia didn't mind if the kids was doing something, she would correct you now, because that's Kia. Kia, she thinks she's my mama. She a sister, she a aunt, she a friend. She's a beautiful person. She loves to switch in the kitchen. We got that from my granny. I mean, she can cook. Oh my God. She get into it with you about something. You didn't cook this like this, because my mama taught us you gonna cook it the way she teach you to cook it. Then after you go on, you can do it your way. So that's the same teaching and training Kia was doing. Kia had 6 kids, and she was a grandmother. My baby niece, it just breaks my heart. I was over there the other day. She put on the dress. She loves tutus, y'all. She loves tutu, and she told me her birthday in December, she's having a bluey party. So, you know, she's gonna have that bluey party. She was just saying how you know, mama this, mama that, and, you know, it's sad that, you know, her mom saw her kiss her by and went on by her business, only to get her life taken like this. It's senseless, and we hurt. But we know it's a God that sits up high, and he looking down low. Kia was a believer. I was upset, like my sister said, I was furious. But I thank God that Gary heard us. I thank God you heard us. You're a man of faith. I heard so many people. Kia touched so many people's lives. I mean, I'm getting calls from California, different places, and they were saying how Kia, like, we went to school with her, elementary school. Kia did this, Kia did. She was an encourager. She was just on the fast. She just told me a couple days, girl, I'm praying that God do this and God do that. We heard so many negative things about Gary. I was born and raised in Gary. I'm a Gary girl. And I say, Gary was once this and once that. And I say, Lord, bring it back. Even so, I'm sad that it was my sister, but if this is what it takes to turn this around, so be it. You know, a lot of times we get stuff placed on us, and sometimes we think, you know, no, not us. It don't affect you till it affect you. But brotherlyhood, sisterhood, the bond, we need to love like we was raised to love. We need to bring that back. We need to love like, you know, and my brother's keeper. We need to be our brother's, our sister's keeper. Kia, her son goes to Andrean. I got a call today, anything that they can do. Kia want her kids to have the best. She put that mindset in them. My nephew could have stayed at home, but he went back to school. He said, I got to do this for my mama. He gone back to yesterday. Terre Haute? Fort Wayne. He said, I got to make my mama proud. I said, she was proud of you. She was proud of all her kids. Single mom. My sister, oh, she love. Woo, Jesus, she love. Who that love, who Jesus, that they talk about in the Bible, baby. Oh, I didn't think I was ever my baby sister, but I thank God that I am here, and I thank God because I feel like change is gonna come. You know, Jesus was the greatest sacrifice. We need to turn our hearts back to Jesus. That's what we need to do, we really do. But if y'all want to help, my nieces and nephews still have to have a place to stay. They still need the rent paid. They still need water. They still need lights. They still need food. If y'all want to help in that capacity, please do. We need a place to have the service. We need action, and this is a call to action. My nephew, my sister sacrificed so my nephew can go to Andrea, and she worked 2 jobs. By faith, that tuition gonna be paid for the rest of the year. I'm speaking by faith because that's what we need. We need y'all to love on us like never before. We a family, and we love hard. We love hard. My heart is broken, but I know Kia's in a better place. Didn't want her to go, but she's in a better place. And just pray for her kids. Pray for us as a whole. My mom and dad, they need your strength. My brothers and sisters, we need your strength. That's all I got to say. Again, my name is Vashti Fagan. V-A-S-H, apostrophe T-I, Vashti, Queen Vashti in the Bible. Tidwell, T-I-D-W-E-L-L. F-E-A-G-I-N. Officer Tidwell is our uncle. God rest his soul, too.
Can you spell mom's first name?
Yes, my mom's name is Charlotte, C-H-A-R-L-O-T-T-E. And my dad's name is James Tidwell, James Tidwell. Kia had her office open. Anybody at our job, we work together, me, Kia, and Naomi. So I saw her. Even when I didn't see her, I saw her. And then sometime I want to go to talk to my sister. People be sitting in her office, wasn't no seat for me. You know, she, they'll tell her problems. She'll tell them, yes, how to work their problems out. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they're like, oh, Kia, you was right. Yeah, she was an old soul. But pray for me, y'all.
Thank you.
Just want to give a special thank you to Kia's family. We are all so humbled and inspired by you. our hearts are broken, and I hope that the community has heard this message loud and clear. That we are looking for your help, and you can see the love and you can see the strength in this family, in this community. And I wish those of you that were watching online could see this room and how many people are here to support this family. So with that, we're going to close this press conference. We're not going to be able to take any more questions right now. However, I believe Mayor Melton will stick around for a few minutes, Chief Cannon as well,
Yes.
Prosecutor Carter as well, but we are going to officially close this press conference. So thank you, everyone.